I welcome you once again to today's segment of our learning program. Our subject for today is natural science. Let's look at our topic. Our topic is humans and the environment. Let's say that together. Humans and the environment. And our subtopic is water-borne diseases. Let's say it together. Water-borne diseases. And for the last time, water-borne diseases. Good. What are we supposed to learn at the end of the lesson? At the end of the lesson, you can define water-borne diseases. You can also identify common water-borne diseases. And lastly, you can state some causes of common water-borne diseases. Let's repeat that again. At the end of the lesson, you can define water-borne diseases. You can also identify some common water-borne diseases. Lastly, you can state some causes of some common water-borne diseases. Get ready for the lesson. What are water-borne diseases? Water-borne diseases or disease is an illness caused by germs in unclean water or dirty water. Let's repeat that again. Water-borne disease is an illness caused by germs in unclean water or dirty water. Dirty water has impurities or dirt in it, and it is not good for drinking or use. If you drink or use unclean water, you may get water-borne diseases. Okay. Some water-borne diseases. Let's observe the pictures attentively. From our immediate left to our right. Don't forget the messages they may send to you. Starting from our immediate left, we can see a man sitting on water closet. What is happening to that man? That man is suffering from a water-borne disease called diarrhea. When one is infected with diarrhea, he or she passes frequent watery stool. And so, this man is suffering from diarrhea, and so therefore is passing watery stool. Let's repeat that disease again. Diarrhea. Again, diarrhea. Very good. Diarrhea is spelled D-I-A-R-R-H-E-A, diarrhea. Very good. And don't forget, when one is suffering from the water-borne disease diarrhea, that person has frequent watery stool. Next to the diarrhea, we have in our picture a man lying on a bed. We can see or observe that the man is very sick. just like someone having serious fever. And that man is suffering from the waterborne disease called typhoid. When one is infected with typhoid, that person has serious fever. Typhoid is one of the dangerous diseases, and it is a waterborne disease. Next to the typhoid is cholera. Before we talk about the cholera, let us look at the picture over there very well. Good. What is happening to that woman over there? That woman is lying on a water closet. And what do you think that woman is doing? Right. She is vomiting. When one suffers from the waterborne disease called cholera, that person vomits frequently or very often. Sometimes someone that is infected with cholera also passes frequent watery stool. Cholera is another serious or dangerous disease, and it is a waterborne disease. Lastly, let's look on our right. We have guinea worm. Let's repeat that again. Guinea worm. Guinea worm is a waterborne disease, and one is infected by guinea worm when he or she comes into contact with a water or a water source that is contaminated. And when that water is contaminated, having germs in it, then one comes into contact with it, and then the worm, which is called the guinea worm, enters the skin of that person. And when one is infected with guinea worm disease, you see a reddish patch on the person's skin at the infected or affected area, and then that portion or that part of the skin causes the person to scratch that itching part of the skin. Guinea worm is another waterborne disease that infects someone that comes into contact with an unclean or contaminated water. Good. Let's continue. Causes of waterborne diseases. Here are some of the causes of waterborne diseases. Number 1, urinating into water bodies such as rivers, streams, and etc. Let's repeat that again. Urinating into water bodies such as rivers, streams, and etc. Let's look at the picture there. We could see a boy urinating into a water source. That could be a river or a stream, or even a lake. Now, whenever anybody urinates into a water source that is unclean or contaminated, or let's say dirty, that person is likely to contract or to get any of the waterborne diseases that we have listed or looked at in our pictures. When you urinate into a source of water, you can get a waterborne disease. Number 2, bathing in water bodies. Below the boy urinating into the source of water or the river, we could see 2 kids or children bathing in a source of water which is dirty or contaminated. When we bath in any source of water, we can mistakenly or unknowingly drink or swallow some of the water. And when this happens, if the water gets into our system and it is contaminated, we are likely to contract or get any of the waterborne diseases we have looked at. And so it is not good for you to continue with the habit of bathing in water bodies. Good. Disposing waste and rubbish into water bodies. When we look down at the 3 pictures we have at the bottom, you will see at the middle of the 3 pictures, in between the 2, the one on our left and the one on our right, that a man is holding something in the water source or the water body. As we can see, the man is throwing rubbish into that river or that stream. It is a source of water, and when we throw rubbish or waste into water bodies, what happens is that we already know we have germs, dirt, and impurities in rubbish, and so that gets the water contaminated, and anybody at all that comes into contact with this source of water is likely to get any of the waterborne diseases that we have mentioned. And so throwing or disposing waste and rubbish into water bodies is one of the causes of waterborne diseases. Number 4, disposing feces into water bodies, or even defecating into water bodies. When we check down there on our immediate left, a man is defecating into a water source. That is very bad. And so when it rains and then the feces is washed into the river, anybody that comes into contact, as a matter of fact, this activity continues, and people continue to throw feces or defecate into sources of water. People that come into contact with it are likely to contract or get infected with waterborne disease, and so therefore throwing or disposing feces into water bodies is a cause of waterborne diseases. Number 5, using chemicals for fishing. Now let's look at the last picture down there. You can see those fishermen in the picture having a very big catch with so many fishes in their net. How did they do this? Did they do it in the right way, or did they do it using the correct method? No, these people used chemicals which are harmful or dangerous to humans or human beings to catch this fish. And so using chemicals that are harmful for fishing can cause waterborne diseases. And so this is also another cause of waterborne diseases. Before we come to the conclusion of our lesson, I would like you to look at these carefully. Okay, now we come to the conclusion of our lesson. What have we learned today? What have we learned? We learned about the meaning of waterborne diseases. We also learned about some waterborne diseases. And lastly, we looked at some causes of waterborne diseases. Let's look at it again. We looked at the meaning of waterborne diseases. We also looked at some waterborne diseases. And then lastly, we looked at some causes of waterborne diseases. Here are your assignments. Number 1. What are waterborne diseases? 2. State 3 waterborne diseases. 3. State 2 causes of waterborne diseases. Let's go over it again. What are waterborne diseases? State 3 waterborne diseases. State 2 causes of waterborne diseases. Thank you for your attention. You can also refer to your textbooks as a guide and use that to answer the questions as well as related topics and questions in your textbooks. Stay safe. See you same time. Goodbye.